I grew my painting business to 72K a month when I started to focus on the things that actually changed my business. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I did it so you can change your life drastically. So I remember like a year ago, I was in my chair finishing my website, yet I felt angry. I did not understand why I had this feeling that I was completing tasks and I was not making any progress. Have you ever been through those moments where you feel like, man, I'm just working so much and I'm not getting the results I'm looking for? And I knew that I was focusing on simple things that wouldn't help me grow. The reason was that the important things needed a lot of work, so I avoided them. But I had to make a change on the things that was actually gonna make something move, like move the needle forward. And I began to focus on my effort on what mattered. For the first time in my life, I began to see results. I realized that I was afraid of doing the things that was actually gonna move the needle forward, but those are the things necessary if you truly want to make a change. So step one, you have to identify where your time goes. So this is the thing with most entrepreneurs. They're working all day, but they don't even know what they've been working on. Let me explain. I had an old friend who had no time to be productive. He would always tell me that he was busy, he had to handle things. So I grabbed his phone and looked at the time he was spending, and he was spending an average of 11 hours a day on his phone looking at social media. It was just insane. I was like, bro, you do have time. You don't know where it's going though. So you have to write down in your journal the activities you do during the day, and you have to identify where your time is going. So this could be simple, you just have to know exactly where your time is going. It's like you're trying to stay focused, yet you're trying to battle with an army of engineers who want to steer your attention so you can spend it on social media all day, so you can watch Netflix. All these guys, all they care is your attention. So you have to grab a journal or create a PDF from Google Docs. It's free. They don't charge you, where you can write. So what I do is that I write from the time that I wake up. So let's just assume that you wake up at 7 a.m., right? What you're gonna do, and this is gonna be my timesheet. So we're gonna make a little square right here, 7 a.m., and we're gonna separate them. Fine. You're gonna write all the hours of the day that you're awake. So for example, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and etc. until, let's say, you go to sleep at 7 p.m. So you're gonna map out your whole day, all the hours you have until the time that you go to sleep. And you're gonna use this sheet every single day to track where your time is going. So the reason why you do this is because you have to have some intention. So intention comes when you say, hey, I'm gonna focus on doing this for the next hour or two, and I'm gonna get it done. So what happens most of the time is that most entrepreneurs, they don't even know what they should be doing for the day. They're kind of like, okay, let me go check social media. Okay, let me go respond these emails. Oh wait, I forgot to do this sell. Oh, I need to go give estimates. A lot of things. They're so busy, they don't have intention anymore. They're just reacting to everything, right? And unless you're creating a software business, you don't want to be reacting to everything. You want to be disciplined. You want to get things done in a certain time. And if you do that, you're gonna start to see progress. So make sure you map out from 7, 8, 9. Let's say you wake up at 7 until the time you go to sleep, and the activities you're gonna be doing. So for example, for me in this case, let's say it's 7 a.m. I'm recording videos, right? So I record until 8 a.m. Then 9 a.m. I focus on reading for a bit. So I read. Then at 7 p.m. I have my sleep time, and you just map out what you're gonna do for the day. It's simple, right? So once you finish creating your sheet, make sure you do it, because it's easy to watch these YouTube videos and then not implement anything, right? So I want you to actually go ahead and change your life by implementing these things. After you do that though, you're gonna identify your goals. So what do I mean by this? There's a quote by Jim Rohn that says, you control the day or the day controls you. So what Jim Rohn meant by this is that you have to know exactly what you want to achieve with your business. If you don't have goals, then you don't even know where you're going. It's like getting on a boat and you're in the ocean. Where are you going? If you have no idea, you're just gonna be wandering in the ocean until the boat breaks, right? So you have to have a clear vision of where you're going. So to make sure that you can take your business to the next level, you have to set big goals. Goals that make you even afraid to achieve. So what do I mean by this? Most entrepreneurs, they just set normal average goals, these goals that they're confident they can achieve. And what happens is that if you set goals that you know you can achieve, you don't grow as much. You're not scared, you're kind of complacent, you don't push yourself more than you can actually push yourself. And the crazy thing is that you are capable of completing any goal you set for yourself if you do it the right way, even if it's crazy goals. So I want you to think for a second about what you want to achieve. What do you want to get anyways? And this may take you a couple of minutes because you already know what you want to achieve, or it could take you a couple of hours, right? The truth is that it took me days to figure out what I wanted. And the important thing is not to wait for that perfect inspiration or that purpose. Is just to start to complete something, right? You want to start taking action. And once you start taking action day by day, you will eventually find something meaningful for you, right? But don't wait on a perfect purpose because there's not such thing like that, right? So by now, I will assume you know what you want to achieve. If not, I recommend that you should pause this video and identify what you want to achieve so you can have that clear vision, right? Make sure you map it out in a sheet that looks something like this. However, this one, you're gonna map it as your goals. So I want you to set some goals for yourself, right? What do you want to achieve? And the crazy thing is that the more goals you set for yourself, the more motivation, but I don't like to say motivation because motivation is fleeting. The more disciplined you will have to become in order to achieve these goals. The more whys you have in your life, the more you're gonna realize that you have to get up your ass at 4 a.m. in the morning so you can go work, right? But the less whys you have, you're not gonna feel motivated. You're not gonna have that discipline to get up and do it. So I recommend mapping out a lot of goals you want to achieve. They could be financial, they could be family, they could be body wise. You know, if you'd like to have a good body, just make sure you map out what's your goals. If you want to scale your business past 6 figures, 7 figures, just make sure you map it out. So once you know what you want to achieve, the next thing will be create a calendar that you will use constantly. So when I was reading a book on how to form habits, I realized a big mistake that I was making. I didn't have a consistent schedule. And for that reason, it was very difficult for me to make a habit like exercising every day and working and reading, right? And I'm sure you have found it difficult to create a habit too. So the question is, why is it so difficult for us to want to make a habit consistently? So the reason why this happens is very simple. The brain simply has to create neurons to create a habit, right? And what does the brain need in order to create neurons? It needs time. And that's exactly why it's difficult to stay consistent with a habit, because you haven't created those neurons yet. And when I created a consistent schedule, I noticed that I could do habits that were very difficult for me to do before. Things that I would never even think about, like going on walks. So the answer is just quite simple. I simply have to allow the neurons that cause the habits to form by staying consistent. If I stay consistent, it's going to happen. The neurons are going to be created, and it has to be repetitive every single day. So don't try to get all sweet. Let's change it up this day. This day, let's do this different. No, you have to have specific, repetitive, every single day schedule, and with specific hours in which you have to work on the most important things in your business. And if you have failed to make progress in your business in the past, it was simply due to a lack of preparation that nobody told you. So it was not your fault. Simply nobody had told you that you had to prepare. And right now I'm telling you that yes, you have to prepare. You have to create a calendar the night before. You have a whole calendar actually for the whole week. You have to know what you're going to be doing during the next couple of days. So I want you to go to your calendar. You can use Google Calendar, for example. It's free. They don't charge you. And I want you to choose a time where you're going to wake up every single day. So you're going to use this time tracker right here, right? Then I want you to choose what time you want to work on the things that will move your business forward. So say how many days you will work to complete that task during the week to accomplish your goals. And let me give you guys an example. So basically, let's say you have to set up hiring a new sales rep. So if you need to hire that sales rep, you're not going to put a task that says hire sales rep, right? You want to be more specific. How many days it's going to take you? So first, you have to prospect for reps. You're going to have to find them. You're going to have to message them. You're going to have to interview them. You're going to have to train them. So realistically, it might take you a week to hire 1 or 2 salesmen, right? But you planned it the week before, so you know, hey, I have to focus on hiring a sales rep, and you don't distract yourself with other activities because there's always things to do. So make sure to do that. Create a constant calendar that is very, very repetitive. It's gonna be boring, I know, but it definitely be worth it because you're gonna create those neurons to start creating habits. And then you're gonna see that you're doing more work without having to put too much effort because you're already accustomed to working. So basically, that's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. Have an amazing day. Goodbye.